Welcome to the best gambling show on the internet. This is the home of the money pick. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you subscribe. 7 minutes late. I apologize on that. I'm really excited to get into it. I'm going to get to the Patreon questions first. Megan Sloth, thank you. Kevin Moore, how's it going, Kevin? J Loyalty. I'll read this. Let's get this money. I have a parlay: Bills, Ravens, Bengals, Chiefs, Raiders, Rams. That's a lot of swings, and one of those probably is going to swing outside of your direction. But I like those teams. I'm really curious what the Rams do this week. I think that's the game I'm going to be watching at 4:30. Pernell, thank you. Let's get this money. Tony Trail. What's up? Yeah, you guys are talking about college football. So Syracuse looked good last week against Purdue. I got to give them credit. They tried to lose it. They didn't lose it. That was the only game I watched. What's up? What's up, Freshness? How's it going, man? Thank you for joining. Zamora, what's up, Zamora? What's up, JSAP? What's up? What's up, Tico? What's up, Mark? What's up, Dan? How about them Eagles? Eagles are looking pretty good, although we do got some questions about why that got lit up all the way to Eagles plus like 6.5. What's up, Johnny Guns? What's up, Slatty Patty? Just waiting for people to get in here. No, I never threw a ton on a parlay. I will bet teasers, but you even saw last night how that goes. With that last play, the annexation from Puerto Rico, and then it ended up going the other way. I mean, I've seen some crazy endings to NFL games, but if you tease the Steelers, like I suggested in the video, you would have took out there. And what more can you do about it? You should be able to hear me. I haven't heard anyone complaining. Let me know if the mic's okay. What's up? What's up, Keto Croy? I like that, man. Yeah, thank you. Midwest in the house. I was surprised how many people in Los Angeles, California listen to me. That is always the number one. I would assume it would be a lot of people in the Midwest. Let me know about the let me know about the mic. What's up, Alzier? All right, I'm going to get to the Patreon questions. Michael Cooper, I tried, man. I tried. It was a good week. It wasn't the best week ever, but like I said, if you go 4-1 on bets all year, it's going to be good. I'm not promising that, but as I did last year, we will win more than we lose. East Coast, Matt Mullins, Pico Rivera, California. Been listening to you 2 years. What's up, Mario? Hope you're having a good day. Okay, good. You guys can hear me. I'm going to get to the Patreon questions. We got some interesting questions on there. So I'll get through those, then I'll get some guests on. And did any of you guys, what did you guys think of that ending last night? I know the NFL fixed folks were out in full voice, and after seeing something like that, it's easy to push that button. I just wanted to see your guys' opinion. Jonathan Urbina, Chiefs money line, Bills money line, Eagles money line, 3-team parlay. What do you think? Yeah, I like the Eagles. I do think the Bills win that game, although I think it's going to be a swat. I don't think it's going to be the Bills cakewalk that the media is making it out to be. Chiefs money line seems pretty safe, seems pretty good, but it is the NFL. So parlays are always dangerous. I'm sure that probably is like plus 170, maybe plus 210. So you should be somewhat protected. The plus 850 parlays, I always like to throw that out. That has a 2% conversion rate, 98% fail rate. Austin Emmons, how are you feeling about this week's matchups? Austin, I'm feeling pretty good. I'm not feeling as great as I did week one, and you saw what week one was. I had 2-2 on week one on the Patreon bets. Last week I was feeling pretty good as well, and it went 4-1. I'm a little bit concerned about these injuries this week. So the Patreon bets will be up a little bit later tonight. There's some things I have to double, triple check. Saints injury concerns. And like, there's just injuries on every team. Like, there's even rumors McCaffrey won't play for the Panthers. I don't think that's going to happen, but I have to read some more, and I have to get the final injury reports. They started leaking out a little bit before we went live. Stephon Diggs for anytime touchdown makes sense. Yeah, those anytime touchdown. I prefer betting the over/under yards type stuff, but anytime touchdowns. You guys on Patreon were right. Last night, you guys were punishing Nick Chubb player props. That Steelers run defense has struggled for 2.5 years. I was a little bit surprised how they got pushed around, though. Mike Apigani, what's up, Mike? Hope you're doing well. John, this week seems really tough. It is a little bit tough, but I say that every week. When I look at these spreads Tuesday morning after watching the film, it's very, very tough. But I do think we got 4 or 5 good plays to bet this week. Yes, there are toss-up games. Yeah, the odds makers, I feel like they made an adjustment to the totals because, listen, you guys know I'm good at betting the regular point spreads and outcomes, and I've been doing the over-under videos for 3 years. I think last week was the first time I went on fire with the over-under. So they obviously made an adjustment there, but I do think there's some value. Thank you, Freshness. I will get to Coca-Cola without sugars. Appreciate it. I'm actually running a little bit low. I had to send my wife to the grocery store. Mike Apigani, another question. Great video at the beach today. You really love living in Brazil with the beautiful beaches and warm weather. Yeah, man, it's good. Where I live, we get like 15 days of rain a year. It's not Arizona tier because it's near the ocean. But yeah, man, every day is sunny. A lot of things are within walking distance of my house. So yeah, dude, everything's going good. Been here about a year. Got my permanent residency. So yeah, there's no going back from me. Juicy Purser, riskiest game to bet in week 3. Well, that's a good question. What's the riskiest one to bet? Let me get to my list. I would say the riskiest one to bet. I think that Raiders Titans game is, because I've watched both games of both teams. As you guys know, I watch a ton of film, and that right side of the Raiders offensive line is so bad, man. It is so bad. I was watching the coach's film, and, Carr does deserve a little bit of criticism for that meltdown against the Cardinals. But then again, it's hard to get to Devontae Adams when you got the double team with your right guard and your right tackle against an old and bewildered J.J. Watt. You get a double team on him, and in 2.5 seconds, Carr's getting hit. And that answered a little bit of my question. And also, Devontae Adams wasn't getting that much separation even when they had time. Renfro was the dude getting the separation, which, when you watch the coach's film, that's one thing that surprised me. Then you got the Titans. I've been saying they're in rebuild since the beginning of the year. Once A.J. Brown left, I said, this is rebuild. Tannehill's overrated. A.J. Brown made Tannehill. You might not like A.J. Brown's stats, but his film speaks for itself. The dude's a top 5 receiver in this league. I'm going to die on this hill, and I don't mind dying on this hill, even though the stats prove contrary. I don't think the stats prove anything when you got Tannehill serving you with yards. That doesn't help. I think that's the toughest game, and that's one I will not be betting. because I could see it going a lot of different ways. Yeah. Next Patreon question. This is from Luke Woods. What's up, Luke? Hey, Lawson, got a question about line movement. Let's say you recommend a spread, but by the time we see it, it's moved. It unfortunately happens. Would you recommend still playing it as it is, or just sacrificing the payout a little bit for the better line? For example, if you call a play at -4 and it's at -5 by the time we see it, I would suggest buying the point. But if we're going from -4 to -5, I'm not losing sleep. I just don't like when I got one at -2.5, that bad boy goes to -3.5, and then you get hooked. Or if I post a -3, then it goes to -3.5. I get more worried about that. I'll give another example. If it's a -6 and it goes to -7, I start sweating. If it's like at -7.5 and it goes to -8.5, I'm not sweating. I always worry about the 7s and the 3s, and I hate that -3.5 hook. That's why if you're at a +3.5, if I post a +3.5, you understand what I'm saying? You need to honor that. Because what is it, like 72% of NFL games are decided by 4 points. So that's where we have to be very, very exact. So just watch the 3s, watch the 7s. Also watch those when you do your teasers. Try to jump over those at all times, even if you know the other team's a lot better. I hope I explained that good. Okay, Quan Williams. Do you wager the exact same amount for every game you bet for the whole season, or do you increase the bet amount each week? It's pretty much the same. I will mark it on Patreon if it's a college fun game. But there's only 3 or 4 a year that'll really up my bets. My bets are fairly high, but I keep them consistent. Then if I get 4 or 5 games a weekend, I'm betting them the same price, even if I love a game. Like, I'll give you an example. I loved San Fran -6.5 at the Bears. I feel like that's the best spread game I had for the first 2 weeks. I bet the same on the Jags +4 last week that I did that game. And you saw how last week 4-1. The first week 2-2, but that San Fran pick, I would do it a million times. That's why I don't up the bets on specific games unless I know it's a college fun game. Because the NFL's crazy, man. We have to respect how crazy it is and how close these games stay. Make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you share the videos. Lamar Harold, Lawson, can we talk strategy? Sure. What are some of the better strategies you've used or come across throughout your career when it comes to risk management and or bankroll preservation? Pretty much what I just said. You take your bankroll and you can make it whatever you want. Each bet is 10% of your bankroll. Each bet is 20% of your bankroll. Each bet is 30% of your bankroll. You eliminate parlays out of that. You eliminate Thursday night, I want action on the game type bets. You eliminate that out of that. And you keep it at a decent amount of bets per week. I'm betting 4 or 5 times a week on the NFL. With soccer, it's pretty similar. I'm betting 4 or 5 times a week. I will start posting my soccer again. I've just been completely in a burrow watching all NFL games, pretty much all the hours I'm not on air. So if you call that a strategy, back in the day when I first started betting, when I was like 15, 16, we used to do a thing called arbitrage betting. And to make it really simple is it would be hedging your bets on different books when they would make mistakes, and then you will bet both sides of the game, and either way you would win money. They eliminated that. They put the technology to eliminate that. So I know there's still some people trying to do that, but the technology caught up. And with risk management, it's more about you guys not blowing your load on like Thursday nights or Monday night football when you want action to have action. I think that is the best advice I can give. I don't think people will follow it. But if you want to just bet for fun on Thursday, Monday night, then you really should just have a separate account and really lower your bets. Ed, what's your favorite over-under of the week? Thanks, John. You the man. Thank you, Ed. I appreciate it. You're the man for subscribing on Patreon. Okay, so I really like this Jags Chargers under the 47.5. If you don't like that, because that is a little bit risky, that's barring on a lot of things. Yes, Lawrence was great last week. Yes, the Jags came out and absolutely beat the living hell out of the Colts. But I think this Jags defense plays decent against Herbert. I think that rib injury is going to limit him a little bit. That's why I got the under, mostly about the Chargers defense in that game. Falcons at Hawks. I like that over 41.5. I believe both were unders on my over-under video, but those are two that are sticking out to me like a sore thumb. And the Raiders-Titans game, I just feel like that's going to find a way to go over. I don't have any science. I like the first two I said better. Okay, Ryan, what's the windiest gambling show on the internet? That video yesterday. Yeah, man, I got fucking hit with the 25-mile-per-hour gust. I'm sure there's some technology that people use to record outside that will limit that. But either way, I told you, we're going to be out in my city every single Thursday teaser video. I want to have fun with it. And I want to show you guys how I'm living. It's not a luxurious life, but it's a pretty comfortable life. J-Sap says, check the Chargers line. It moved. Well, let's see what it's at. We're talking over, under, or are we talking spreads? Yeah, that would be my luck because that Charger. Okay, no, we're good. We're good. We're good. Okay, let me reload the page, J-Sap. We're good, man. We're good. I didn't see anything that worried me from what we're trying to do. Okay, so Herbert must be out. Herbert must be out. And dude, but Herbert was practicing and throwing this week. Good job, J-Sup. Good job catching that. That's why, that's why I knew we were gonna. That's why I said on the Instagram video, I'm gonna have to put these bets on Patreon later than normal. That's absolutely insane. Good catch, J-Sap. It's absolutely insane, man. I do think the Bengals bounce back. I do, but last week I thought they would as well, and they got beat by Cooper Rush. So that's what happened. Can someone give us news about Justin Herbert? I'm going to get to the next Patreon question. Speaking of the devil, the next Patreon question is from Ray. Los Angeles Chargers is my watch game. Lots of players dinged up. Eckler should have a day versus this unimpressive Jags D. Play action, short dumps off to keep Herbert clean. Yeah, I do see Eckler having a big day, but we don't know what's going on with that right now. And this Jags defense, if we're talking rushing the passer, they're awesome. I do think they're going to struggle stopping the run this year, but look at what they did against the Colts. This Jags defense has gotten better. Yeah, so. Okay. Yeah, so pretty much if you're betting that, I think he's going to play unless the Chargers don't give Toradol shots. Many quarterbacks have played with that rib cartilage injury. It's just you need Toradol to play with it, essentially. Not to talk about illicit drugs. Yeah, so we'll see. Yeah, Herbert must be officially out for them to move it down that low. I think he'll play. And my position this whole week has been he's going to play. And I do think it would make him look bad if he did not play this game. Like, just from like a toughness standpoint, I think it would make him look really bad. And then you put it in Chase Daniel's hands when this AFC West is the most competitive division. Yeah, man. You guys find me more information about that. Jojo, do you think the Colts can upset the Chiefs? I haven't seen any evidence on film, and I understand. Thank you, and I understand we keep thinking, okay, Colts are going to respond. They've started slow before, and they came back and played good ball. I just don't know if we can afford to risk that bet, and that's not a hill I want to die on. I think it would be going out on a limb, but we know in sports betting, we have to go out on a limb, and sometimes we have to be the first people in line. We understand that, although it opens you up to tons of criticism if it doesn't go your way or if you get unlucky. But you have to be the first on a bandwagon. And you have to be stubborn, but the Colts aren't a team I'm being stubborn on. Before we talk about Shaq Leonard, I don't know if he's going to play again. I'm worried about this offensive line. You could say Matt Ryan is done. We know they only have Pittman to throw to. As soon as I saw Pittman was out last week, put the Jags on Patreon. I just don't know if this offensive line is playing at the level they should. And you would think, okay, Chiefs, front seven, you block Chris Jones, you can run it, but they haven't ran it. And it's hard to run the ball when you're down 17-0. It just is. I don't think they can. I don't think we're going to see this epic response, although you would think it would come. I am worried about the Colts, man. As a team who made us a lot of money this year, I just don't see how they're churning around. John, I see people saying, why do I get the feeling Raiders will win by 10? Because the Titans are a team that's in rebuild mode. No one in the national media is saying it, but they are. I still wouldn't want to play the Titans at their home field, though. I still wouldn't want to have to tackle Derrick Henry, but if they stop the run, they'll win. Tannehill is very, very limited, and A.J. Brown made him look a lot better than he actually is. No, I agree with this, Canyon. I agree with this. Who loves offensive line play more than me? Not many. Maybe other offensive linemen. But I felt like the $20 million for Quentin Nelson was way too much. And we could talk about them not getting Julio to go with Pittman or another wide receiver to go with Pittman. But, you're paying a guard $20 million a year. I don't even think that's in the top 5 or 6 positions in this league. It just isn't. And, you pay a linebacker on the other side who's really, really good, but it looks like he's not going to play. He's got like a mystery injury that no one seems to understand when he's coming back. So you pay a guard and you play a linebacker in a league where, we need wide receivers. I already said wide receivers, third or second most important position. People looked at me like I was a newbie and didn't understand defensive line play or offensive line play. But no, it's real. It's real. Look at Tom Brady with the Patriots, his last 2-3 years. There's absolutely no one to throw to, and they're calling him scrubbed. The NFL has damn changed. These wide receivers are getting paid for a reason. Colts are behind the curve on that. Let me get to the next Patreon question. Star time, Lawson, can we get a breakdown of your picks without you giving them away? I'll write more this time for my picks. I will, because I'm probably going to have some explaining to do on Patreon with what I put up there. Had some explaining last week. A lot of people questioning 4-1. This is from P. Lawson, I know it's bold, but I have the Colts covering and possibly winning. I also feel like Washington covers and Denver shocks the world with a Sunday night upset. I'm not counting Denver out, even though, I love the 49ers. Although I did have to sit through the 2 Denver games this year, so I don't know if that's all that likely. Although you always have a puncher's chance in Mile High. Mile High is maybe the best home field advantage in the league. I'm not talking noise. I'm talking getting winded mid-third quarter. The Washington game, that's a tough one because I'm low on Washington, but I was very shocked by that line movement. I was very shocked by it. Yeah, man. So there's Eagles fans that I respect, not like people saying the Eagles are going to win by 50, those type of fans, but a lot of Eagles fans were very, very shocked by that as well. A few I talked to on Instagram, they didn't like that movement, and they feel like Wentz has a puncher's chance against them. Thank you for the super chat. Cosina 17, thank you for your hard work, brother. Let's cast some winners. Let's get it. Yeah, we got 2. Let's get it. And thank you for your donation. We got 231 people in here. And if you're on the Patreon, leave your question in the thread I put there, because it's extremely hard. And thank you, Mr. Law. Thank you. Is your last name Lawson by any chance? That'd be pretty cool. Yeah, Dion, I did see that, and I don't know what Nat Hackett's doing, man. You got to think there's a response, and like, I'm not getting on the people who are salivating about the Colts or the Broncos, because in this league, it's a league of responses. A team will respond. Every single team has a response unless the team's dead. And I'm worried about this Colts team being dead. I don't think the Broncos are dead. Like, I think there's still energy in the locker room. But Frank Reich has some problems. Okay, here we go. This is from Ray Rouse. At plus 190, is Miami worth a multiple unit money line bet? I think you're being greedy. I think you're being greedy with that one, Ray. If it was like plus 240, I could see it. I think Buffalo wins that game. I just think Miami sticks around and covers. And a lot of my rants this week against the Bills was not anything against the Bills team or like their fans, even though their fans like are very active on the internet when they've been quiet for like 22 years. It was more about people saying they're going to win. It's Bills by 20 plus points easy. That bothered me a little bit. And then Ray asked, what is your bankroll strategy when betting larger money line underdogs? I don't normally do that. I like to bet spreads. But I would suggest betting teams that are like +4, +5. You gotta get value for it, and then you also have to be in the park. And it just comes down to, like, if you think a team is a favorite and they're limping into a game, and you see a matchup you can exploit, it's more about matchups you can exploit. And Vegas will make mistakes. They don't make as many mistakes as they used to. It's all about finding mistakes. Okay. Make sure you hit that like button. Make sure you share the videos. Yeah, hit that like button. O-line guru is awesome. And one O-line guru I'm liking is AQ Shipley. He used to play for the Cardinals and Colts. Like, I'm liking the stuff he's putting out there, because O-line play is very, very complicated. And you need at least average O-line play to do anything in this league. Here we go. Here we go. Let me get to the Patreon questions. Ben John, do you still think Ravens over Pats is a money pick? Yes. A lot of you guys fell for the FUD this week. The FUD this week was, Lamar Jackson might not play because journalists didn't see him throwing in practice. Bro, he threw in practice Wednesday and Thursday. Lamar, I'm not worried about that. And I did see on FanDuel, it's down to -2.5, correct? For the Ravens. On a lot of other books, it's still at -3. -2.5 makes it even more of a money pick because a Justin Tucker field goal to win the game isn't completely out of the realm of possibility. And like I said, man, we won big money with the Dolphins last week. And yes, that was fun. That was about the Dolphins playing good. But the Ravens made cataclysmic mistakes that I think they're going to learn from. I watched the coaches film of that Ravens game, and some of the dialed up blitzes and that third, fourth quarter were absolutely insane and ridiculous. Ravens bounced back. They learned their lesson. I think they beat the Patriots. And the Patriots are a type of team, you have to make mistakes for them to beat you. The Patriots aren't going to come out and beat you. The Patriots run game has looked better, but we saw running the ball on the Steelers isn't the biggest accomplishment. Ravens are still. Jeff Jabroni with the super chat. Thank you for your donation. Hey, brother, no question. Hope everything's good. Yeah, man, it's going good. It's going good, Jeff. Send me a message on Instagram. I haven't talked to you in a while, my man. Lauren will be coming on. I believe she's going to be coming on at pretty soon once I get through the Patreon questions. And also, if you want to come on, send me an email. I got a lot of Patreon questions to get through, so let me get to them. Thank you guys for all being here. I really appreciate it. The numbers are going up. Like, what do they say? Like, going up like you're selling hotcakes. Lauren Kaiser, what is your Sunday night score prediction? I think I sent you on Instagram 24-21 or 24-20. Niners win the game. I'm worried about this Broncos red zone offense, man. I'm extremely concerned about it. That's where I'm at. Lawson, you're the man. This is from P. Can I have a few of your favorite anytime touchdown scorers? Well, let me get. I like the guy who suggested Stephon Diggs. I like Swift. No. Take that away. I like one from Dalvin Cook this week. I'd like one from Jamar Chase this week. I like one from, who we got? Give me Lamar Jackson this week. Let's see. And give me Pierce, the running back for the Texans. Those are some with decent odds off the top of my head. Here we go. Johnny Gonzalez. What's up, Johnny? I was just watching your videos, and your response about the Bills' overreaction was spot on. I'm not sold on this Bills team yet. Everyone needs to chill the hell out. I know. And, every single Super Bowl pick I see is Bills. And the NFL doesn't work this way. And then, can we just say that AFC is an absolute gauntlet? Can we give a little bit of credit to some of those other teams in the AFC? And if the Bills were in the NFC, I would get it. But I'm going to throw out something a little bit crazy here. I'm not full on the Eagles. I think they're going to have a dogfight with the no-names this Sunday. But damn, look at how the Eagles match up with the Bills. look at how the Bucs match up with the Bills. The thing that has impressed me the most, and I'll say it again, is how the Bills front seven is stopping the run. But I'm going to be honest, and I don't think it's going to last. And I think that's why this game against the Dolphins is so important. Dolphins have been creating pretty good running lanes. I'm curious to see how it goes this week. Cora shot. Am I crazy to take the no names at +6? No, I think there's value. Even though I've liked the Eagles since the beginning of the year, they completely slashed my Vikings. I think there's value there. Okay, here we go. This is from Joshua Pierce. I thought Trubisky would be capable of throwing a touchdown for my Steelers, but I was wrong there. I adjusted my spread separate, the Steelers +7.5. Then they fumble for a touchdown in the end zone. Yeah, FanDuel had a big boost on that. If you did it on FanDuel, they refunded the money for that boost. Yeah, man, that's about as wild as it gets. Donnie the sports guy. Look ahead line with Miami and Cincinnati got a Dolphins money line at +115. Hammered that. Would you have, or you think it could have gotten better value at week 4? I think it could get better value with the Bengals beating the Jets. And I don't like betting weeks ahead because injuries. And we got to see how the Bengals respond. You never want to count the Bengals out. Although Jets, with Sauce Gardner in that secondary, I'm not fucking ruling anything out this week. Moneyline repo. Big money Lawson. I know you don't like parlays, but is it safe for me to bet the life savings? Oh, God. On Chiefs, Eagles, moneyline parlay at odds -109. Don't bet your life savings. But if we're talking money line, that should work. But like the others have been asking about, the Colts might have a punch here. And your heart is going to have to be ready for that. With me being not emotional about the life savings part, me just throwing that in the garbage, I say fine. But they are parlays for a reason. Parlays account for 65% of sport books revenue for a reason. They make a 4 or 3% profit on what I do betting against the spreads. Just always remember that before you do it. And I would lower the bet. And you don't need to be greedy. Lower the bet and you can roll with it. But you're going to be sweating, man. You're going to be sweating, and you're going to be sweating more than me walking in 100-degree heat. This is from Derek. Hey, John, love your channel and your content. Keep doing you. Thank you, Derek. 7-point teaser. Which of these games don't you like on it? If you like them all, which one would you take off? Baltimore +4, Buffalo +1.5, Philly +0.5 point, Los Angeles Rams +3.5. I like that. I got no complaints. Just these teasers are dangerous. Let's be honest about that. But if you're getting good value for that, it shouldn't be a bad payout. Here we go. Let me see. Okay, let's get to more Patreon questions. This is from Leo Bellera. Law Money. Is the Saints game a college fund game? I need to get one of those chains like you. Cuban link, firstly. And wait on it. Because I don't think it's a college fund game, but it's somewhat, it's a very, very strong play. We just need everything to work out because I am a little bit worried about this Jameis Winston news. If Kamara doesn't play, I'm fine with it. He has the same injury as Herbert, although we know quarterback and running back is a complete different dog. Yeah, so for me, man, you got to wait and see on it. I'm waiting and seeing. I've been trying to find info about Jameis all week, and I don't trust Andy Dalton with anything. I would not trust anything with Andy Dalton at this point. I think he's been washed for 3 and 4 years, and he's never been good, even when he was so and so good. Yeah. So wait and see on that. Wait and see on that. Let's not do anything crazy yet. Celebrity Neil. Colts easily cover spread. Chiefs overrated. I do think the Chiefs are a bit overrated, but that's getting shadowed by like the Bills. The Bills are going to clobber everyone by 30 points in the playoffs, and we can just write off the fucking season already. But I don't know if the Colts cover that easily. Okay. Kamara is playing. Okay. Got you. James Galley, Lawson, we loving this Ravens -3 line and buy a point to -2.5. James, you might not need to buy the point. Whenever you bet a Patriots game, there's just they call them sharps or whatever. Like, I don't even like when people call me a sharp. I just think it's like corny, and I would use the word consultant more than sharp, because these guys don't win as much as you think. They have these sharps who go and bet the Patriots no matter what week it is, and I'm sure that's what moved it down a little bit. The Ravens could lose that game if they don't play good, but if both teams play good, Ravens are winning that game 9 out of 10 times. This is from the Hound. How do you feel about the Bengals' rough start with Burrow being sacked 13 times? Since that O-line can't hold up, they might go back to being the Bungles quicker than everyone thought. I agree. The Hound, I mean, my guy, they invested so much money into. They invested so much. They should operate. Cocaine. They invested so much money into that offensive line. You would have thought it would have moved to at least league average. It's not even close after watching the first 2 games. Luckily, the Jets don't have a good defensive line, so they should be able to get a little bit of breathing room this week, but it's something we have to watch. And I think here's what's more important about it. The O-line's taking a lot of heat, but I'm not giving the O-line as much heat as I gave them last year. I would give Burrow a lot of this heat. They're using the same defense that made Mahomes slow down mid-season last year. Man-to-man, 2 deep safeties, and Burrow doesn't want to check it down. And they're not letting him do the crazy shit, the Jamar Chase anymore. And they did. I like Hayden Hurst at tight end, but I like their tight end better last year. And a lot of these guys like T. Higgins are a little bit overrated, and they're not winning all that many battles. So I'm concerned about Burrow holding the ball too long. At a certain point, you got to check it down. If they're in shell coverage, there's not much you can do. Like, look at what Jalen Hurts did last week. Vikings were in quarters, which pretty much means there's going to be 4 guys deep, 3 underneath covering. What did Hurts do? He checked it down, and he completely ran roughshod on the Vikings defense. Then once the Vikings got frustrated, they kept playing the quarters, but then a corner bit up, and then they get that big 55-yarder to Watkins. I think the Bengals got some problems from a philosophical and coaching standpoint that no one wants to talk about. I would, if you put my life on the line, I would think the Bengals cover that -4.5. More about the Jets than the Bengals. Adam, what is your top bet of week 3? You'll see. I'll be posting it on Patreon. But the top bet stuff, I don't think that really matters, because you can lose your top bet and win your other 3. And then if you bust your whole load on the top bet and go small on the other 3, then you're going to lose with a 3-1 week. Okay, here we go. No limit. Jojo says, I think Panthers may get the win this week. Well, I mean, they are at home, but the Panthers are really, really bad. I don't know if I would make that bet. They were really, really poor against the Giants. No limit town, bro. Look at that Bills injury report and tell me the Dolphins at home can't cover the spread. The Bills injury report is looking pretty bad. But sometimes that's smoke and mirrors. We need definitive out in type stuff. Raul Villa. This is from Raul. Hey, Lawson, I like my San Fran 49ers at -1.5. Do you think Russell Wilson's familiarity of playing the Niners comes into play here? He seems to get up and play hard when it's against us, even back to the Cap days. What are your thoughts about that? My thoughts about that is I'm not concerned about Russell America Wilson. I'm not concerned about his corny ass. What I am concerned about for the 49ers is Mile High Stadium. What's the wind going to be like in the third, fourth quarter? Not the wind on the field. I'm talking in their lungs because, dude, anyone who's done anything at altitude knows it's no joke there. But let me say something to make you feel more comfortable. Even though this Broncos defense is ranked in the top 5, let's keep in perspective. They played the Seahawks. Seahawks ran it pretty decent, right? They played the Texans. Texans ran it pretty decent, right? And now you got Shanahan and that old line coming in. Jimmy G on play action. I like San Fran in this game. I do think Russell's going to play better. I do think we see a response from the Broncos. That's why it wasn't a money pick on Tuesday. But after watching the Broncos film this week, I'm really concerned about them. I'm really, really concerned about them. Like last week, people are concerned about the Niners. I wasn't as concerned about the Niners, had them to beat Seattle. Yeah, man. So that's where I'm at on that game. I appreciate the question. Leo, are the Dolphins with Miracle to a money pick at +6? I wouldn't go a money pick, but I will fade Joe Public on this one. James Humphrey, how do you bet the Asian market in soccer? Right now, I just play all draws, but I want to go to another level. James, the Asian handicap or the Asian market is just think of it like a point spread for soccer. My favorite thing to bet is plus 0.05. That pretty much means double chance. You win if you win the game. You win the bet if they draw. If they lose, you don't win your bet. That's where it's at. That's what I bet. That's literally the only thing I bet. I love point spreads. Maybe it's because I'm NFL. Maybe because I've just been watching NFL for so damn long. Jonathan Yim, what would your survivor picks be this weekend? I don't know how many you want. I think you only pick one, right? Never played it, but people said I won them a survivor. Well, let's go to something. There's not a lot of safe games this week. I would go Ravens. And I assume a lot of people are going to go the Bills. I would probably go Ravens or Bengals. I just don't think Joe Burrow loses 2 straight games, even with my criticism of Zach Taylor and Joe. I just don't think they're going to lose. I would die on that hill. I would mark that hill as a hill to die on. That's where I'm at. Chiefs are in play as well. But respect my viewers because they see Colts responding. I am trying to see it. I'm just not seeing it. But I understand. Preseason bet I made Bills, Bucks, Eagles, Vikings, and Colts to win their division. plus 3150. How you feeling about these? I'm feeling pretty good about the Bills right now, although that Dolphins train is making that easy one a little bit harder. But you should be good on the Bills. I never expected the Dolphins to compete for that division. Bucks looking good. Eagles looking good. I'm happy you got the Eagles. I was really concerned with people betting Cowboys in the futures. I didn't like that. Vikings and Colts. AFC South, man, it is kind of going to be by default. I wouldn't even rule out the Jags in the AFC South at this point. And I've been saying all year, Titans are in a little bit of a rebuild mode, even though no one's talking about it. The Vikings one is a little bit risky, man. But with this Packers receiver situation, I think it's warranted. And then even look at the Packers injuries this week going in to play the Bucs. There's some serious concerns. Mr. Vance says, I think Green Bay can cover. Any doubts? I think they can too, but this wide receiving injury situation is out of control. Can't we just stay away from the Bucs Packers this week? If you wanted to hit that over because it's getting really low, I wouldn't stub my nose. But with all these injuries, like I wrote it down, it looks like Cole Beasley might have to play this week. It looks like Julio's out. Mike Evans is suspended. Chris Godwin's going to be out. It looks like it's just who are these quarterbacks going to have to throw the ball to? Like I think only one wide receiver on the Packers roster practiced this week. It's looking scary. Update us on the YouTube comment section. I haven't been there in a long time. I hope I didn't miss a super chat. I hope I didn't. We're at 291. Shout out to you guys. Joe, what's your money line lock of the week? Chiefs without Shaq Leonard again? Yeah, it would be that. But for money line, I want to get you a little bit better odds. I feel comfortable rolling the dice with the Falcons. Busy Gal 405. Can you discuss your thoughts in the Bucks Packers game? I went in pretty much on it. I just think it comes down to who runs the ball better. And right now, I'm taking the Bucks by default. But I'm really, really concerned with both of these injuries on this team. Like the wide receiving position is crazy. Cole Beasley signed on what? Tuesday, Wednesday? And he's going to play already. That just shows how bad the injury is. And then, like a lot of the viewers have been saying, and what I noticed on film as well, man, these Bucs receivers outside of the elite guys, their periphery receivers like Scotty Miller, they're not making plays and they're dropping hard balls to catch. Yes, they're hard balls to catch, but they're dropping everything. They're not giving much confidence. All right, I'm going to take a less than 5 minute break. I'll be right back. I got through the Patreon questions. We'll get some people on. I'll shift to the YouTube questions. Thank you for all the questions. I appreciate it. Make sure you hit the like button. I'll be back in 3 minutes. No, você tá. É, você tá certo. Você é muito exaltado. Yeah, muito bom. Just try to straight. I'm back. Thank you for your patience. I'm back. Um, yeah, Kevin Samuels, man. Rest in peace. Rest in peace, Kevin Samuels. Sam Kleinswords, do you like Packers plus 1.5 as a money pick? No. Stay away from that game. That has to be stayed away from. I'm going to see if I missed any Patreon questions. Lawson, bro, how can I see your video? I'm in Florida. YouTube. Nick, my YouTube channel. Unless they blocked it in Florida. That'd be wild. No, I'm joking. But YouTube was down earlier today. That was something I thought that was interesting. Yes, welcome to the best gambling show on the internet. All right, we're back for hour 2. Let me get to my email. I think we're going to get Lauren on. Okay, I'm going to get Lauren on. Then I'm going to get Tony on, and then freshness. If you got a call out like last week, get on here, man. Send me an email. If you got a call out like last week, he came on and called the shot with the Patriots to win and the cover against the Steelers. That was fun. That was really, really good, man. Okay. Here we go. Yeah, I sent it. My man. Okay, here we go. Yeah, man. Someone was worried about me because elections in Brazil are coming up. Yeah, man. I will be laying low that week. They got like 2 rounds of elections, so I'll be laying low. But every Thursday there will be a new location. I got a lot of cool locations scouted out. Should be a fun time, man. I'm going to try to fix the wind. If anyone has any ideas on that, yeah, there is no such thing as a lock. And that's why I don't like saying, Lawson, when you put your bets out, can you put a tier on them? I don't like doing that. The best bet I've had this whole year is San Fran -6.5, and it didn't hit. And then bets I thought were worse hit. Like, that's how it goes, man. That's how it goes. Yeah, I'm surprised we didn't get any Lions talk at the Lions +6. I'm really, really surprised about that, man. Like, for me, that makes sense. You get the value. Now, I know a lot of you guys are focusing on the Commanders, which makes sense. There's value there, even though this podcast has always loved Jalen Hurts more than other people. There's value there. And with the way my Vikings played last week, I'm surprised more people aren't talking about the Lions. And Lions blow games, okay? And the Lions are actually decent this year. But even when they weren't decent and my Minnesota Vikings were legit, they're like 3-4 point games. That's why I'm shocked it's still at 6. And it's a decision I have to make when I place the bet. Do I bet against my own team? I mean, that's kind of where I'm at. And last week it was so fun. No, it actually wasn't fun. We have the Lions on Patreon. Had the Lions as a money pick on YouTube. Like it was a no-brainer. But damn, do they make you sweat? Damn, I had like honestly, man, like I had fucking hypertension last Sunday. Like it was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. Like the way the Dolphins game ended was a bit too much. Watching Detroit do everything in their power to blow a 22-0 lead to the no-names was a bit much. And then watching the Bears try to backdoor cover on me, I couldn't fucking sit down. I couldn't. I was just up, ready to go, ready to blast through a wall. And you know, you would have think I did like a fucking truck full of cocaine when I didn't do anything like that. Like that's how much the heart was thumping last week. Here we go. Yeah, and I understand you guys thinking there will be a Vikings reaction. Like I understand it, and I'm hoping there's a reaction, but they could play good, and the Lions could keep it close. Like I know Goff has his limitations, and this Lions defense is oh so bad. They're terrible. But yeah. You say Lions, I say over. Yeah, we had that money pick. That one was easy last week. Normally the over-unders aren't easy, but that one was easy last week. And I don't like saying any bet's easy, but yeah, man, that one was easy. Lauren, are you coming on? Or I can get – okay, I'm going to get Freshness on. He's coming in for a quick call. Then I'm going to get Tony. I'm waiting for Lauren to come on, but okay. Lauren, just 50 seconds. Let me just get Freshness on. He's going to come on and he's going to pick a game really quick. My bad about that. I thought you didn't see it. I thought you went to poker. Okay. Let me see. I sent it to you, Freshness. Yeah, let me... What's up, Azul? What's up, Azul? Yeah, man. You killed it with the player props in that Lions game last week. Man, you must hate the Cowboys. I don't hate any team in this league. The Giants are really bad. The Giants are really bad. No, I know that. Did I say anything different? Did I say anything different? Like, no. I actually sit through these teams you guys don't watch. Like, yes, the Giants are terrible. What's up, my man? Where you at?
Oh, I just got back from Mexico. I'm in KC.
That's awesome, man. Hope you had a safe trip.
Let me turn this up here. So, all right, folks, I'm going to be here for less than 60 seconds. That's the goal. My number one pick, me and you, Lawson, are on the same page. You know I'm a Patriots fan. But I will bet against my Patriots if I'm making money. And I'm betting against the Patriots this Sunday. Ravens -2.5. Jump on it before it hits 3.
Yeah, they got I know, like we should be nervous as gamblers. There's a reason why gamblers always have some sort of nicotine or alcohol addiction. But people are getting way too nervous about that Lamar Jackson FUD this week. I don't know if you saw that or anything, but yeah, I like it, man.
Yeah. Watching the Patriots beat the Steelers in like the last 3 minutes, because I was sweating, because I had a good amount of money on that game. And we see how the Steelers are. The Ravens is a much better team. That's number one. Number two, I'm going to throw this out there for those who are looking for a pick. I don't guarantee anything, but I'm going to go with this. Cincinnati over 25.5. I love it. I love it. Cincinnati's going to hit in the 30s. This is a must-win for Cincinnati, or it's over. And I think Burrow shows up. Chase is going to get a TD, and I think they're going to have a lot of passing yards, and it's going to be a high-scoring game. But I'd rather have Cincinnati score 30-something than the Jets to cover the entire total. So I'm taking Cincy 25.5. That's what I saw it today. And the Ravens 2.5.
Let's get it. Me going with that one.
Let's get it.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Hey, listen. I got to say something to the viewers. If you take those bets and you win, I want you guys to do me a favor and send 1% of your profit to Lawson. He needs it.
Oh, appreciate it.
Yeah.
Humble beggar on the street.
Hey, send him 1% of your win if you take that Cincinnati 25.5. I don't want nothing, but let's keep this guy's channel well fed. All right, Lawson. I'll stay in touch, man.
Yo, have a great week, man.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, he came on and picked that Patriots one. I told him he was going to sweat. He didn't care, but yeah, that Patriots game, I don't know if there was a bigger sweater last week if you were betting that. Lauren, how you doing?
Hey, what's up, everybody?
Appreciate your patience.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me again.
So let's get into it. Let's just start with your New Orleans Saints. Are you a little bit worried about the Jameis Winston injury, or do you think a lot of that is FUD?
I mean, I'm a little worried about Jameis Winston injury or not. He looked really bad that second half. Now there was, that whole. First of all, it was like 3-0 for the longest time, and then it was 3-3, I think, at the half, right? Or even the third quarter. I don't know, third quarter, whatever. So it was a very defensive game. Which we all knew was going to happen. It was a very, very defensive game. Hi, Johnny. And we knew that was going to happen. And then the fight broke out and just ruined me completely because obviously I'm a Saints fan, but I have Mike Evans on my team, my fantasy team. I have the Saints defense. Lattimore got thrown out. I mean, so that game just ruined me completely. I wasn't really concerned about Kamara not playing because we know that they've been able to play without him in the past. They played without Michael Thomas for God knows how long, and they were able to win games. So that didn't concern me, even though we found out pretty close to game time. It was always very questionable, but we found out, pretty close to game time that it was confirmed. But am I concerned? Yeah, we know Jameis can throw the deep ball. We know he's not afraid to throw the deep ball. It's the accuracy. And the injury, do you think that – do you see anything that needs to be where it's like long-term? Or
no, I don't see anything. I think he's going to play, but it is making me nervous. And it does get a little bit nerve-wracking without Kamara out there, but I want – to people to have some perspective because I watched that Saints film this week. Thought like they played good. Like we got to just give that win to Bruce Arians for starting that fight. And also like we have to keep in perspective where the Panthers are. Like they're really, really bad. Now
I think below Atlanta.
Yeah, and let me just take the super chat. Maybe you have a comment here. Lions and Texans money line. I wouldn't go all that crazy with the Lions, but I like the Texans this week.
Love them. Love the Texans this week. They will get their first win. Chicago is their whole, and some people are going to get so mad at me right now, but it's predictable. It's just run. Every play is a running play. So I don't know if they're afraid to let him do anything else, or they're just trying, if they think that the running is their strongest point, but they're so predictable. They were behind and still running.
Yeah, and I think it's because they're scared of their offensive line, And Bears fans don't want to admit it, but like most intelligent Bears fans who keep an even keel know that offensive line's a liability. They don't want Fields to pass it, but you got to let the kid make a play. And then what? The only explosive player they have on offense, okay, Justin Fields is explosive, but the only skill position that's explosive is Darnell Mooney, and he's been milk carting this whole first 2 games. When he can play, but look at their other wide receivers. It's terrible.
No, and then you look at somebody like, another quarterback who is struggling with having a top tier receiving crew like Aaron Rodgers. And obviously Justin Fields is, in here year 2, I'd say 1.5 really, but you have to let your quarterback control a game. Everything is based around him. If he can't throw the ball or run it himself, like look at Jalen Hurts. He's throwing, he's running, he's diving, he's running in touchdowns, he's throwing in for touchdowns, he's he's managing the game, and he's just being so dynamic. And if Justin Fields is just going to sit here and hand the ball off to David Montgomery every single time, or Khalil Herbert, or whoever's there, they're not going to score. Like, you know what I mean? There's not going to be any points.
And I think the Texans got the better running back.
I love David Montgomery. I think that he's unfortunately on a team that's just not as high powered of an offense as he should be on, because he's proven to be a very good running back. But I will tell you, Houston, if anything, they have outscored Chicago the whole 2 weeks so far. They've been in every game.
And they should have won that Broncos game.
Definitely.
Drop passes in the red zone. Yes, Dougie made some mistakes, but they were running the ball on the Broncos, and that's why people need to be cautious. And someone's asking if you bet. I know you bet. Like if someone plays poker, they'll damn near bet anything.
Yes, and I'm not going to come out here and give my opinions and not take advantage of it.
Exactly. Some people don't think I bet. I've been talking about this like damn near my whole life. So I love betting. And let's transition, because we had some talk earlier about the 49ers at Broncos.
G's back.
Yeah. Well, I know you're happy about that. And I did feel energy. I'm not trying to sound like a hippie, but when he came out, there was a certain amount of energy that was provided. And listen, this Denver defense, I know I'm going to get the top 5 guys coming in here because they played, the Texans and Seahawks. This isn't a top 5 defense. And I think the 49ers run roughshod in the middle of the defense. I think they're going to run it. We'll see what Jimmy does. I do think Jimmy's going to be a little bit rusty, though.
I mean, he came in there last week like he didn't miss a beat, but I mean, every game is going to be, he's going up against Russ. Russ has not looked good. The fans are booing, counting the clock down. I don't think that's going to, I think he definitely has a response for that. He's not going to look like this the whole season. Let's start with that.
Well,
but,
I don't know.
At least I hope not.
Well, yeah, but don't you think he isn't the guy that we think he is? Like after the Seahawks stuff, I'm not trying to get into like melodrama here, but don't you think he isn't the guy that we all think he is? Like, you know how we all thought he was like the ultimate teammate, the guy who says everything right at all the right times, team guy, perfect guy you want to marry your daughter, all that stuff. Like, don't you think with what Pete Carroll was saying after week 1's game kind of made you look at him a different way?
Russ has been with Seattle his whole career until this year. You know what I mean? He has literally been in Seattle his whole career. So he's only really known Pete Carroll's offense, and he's really done whatever he's wanted to do. And now he comes to a Denver team that has multiple people on the offense that can be superstars, really. And it's almost like he needs to fit in. He needs to fit in and get himself to where he can navigate this offense to be what it needs to be. I mean, people were picking the Broncos to win the Super Bowl. They were picking Russ for MVP before the season started. That was outlandish.
Well, I had them last place. The Russell America Wilson campaign for MVP has been 5 years strong, and we've seen this play out of him in the second half before. That's what I'm saying. He's a good whipping boy. Like, he looks really like bull shucks type guy, but like, it's convenient to whip him. But at a certain point, you got a franchise quarterback. You got to get the dudes out of the huddle. And I know the defensive stats look good, but they play Geno Smith and Dougie Mills. Like, I'm a Dougie Mills hype train, but come on now. And if Brandon Cooks could catch a football, that game would have been a lot different. I felt like they should have lost it. I'm concerned.
I do too. They were behind. So I agree. I think you will see Houston win their first game this week. I think Houston wins. I think Houston money line is a great opportunity to cash, in my opinion. I like the Lions to cover this week too.
Let's go to that game. Why do you like the Lions?
I mean, has anybody been more explosive than St. Brown? Who's having a better year than him?
The guy Azul in the chat section, he's been just betting his player props every single week, and Vegas hasn't adjusted. And thank you for the kind word, Jameer. Like, I really appreciate that. And I try to get people from not betting this BS Thursday night games. Like, I'm going to make the pick. That's what I'm here to do. But you got to be careful what to bet. All right, go on. Sorry to cut you off.
No, I just think, is anyone really playing better than St. Brown? That team is going to score. So, I mean, they're not necessarily going to stop anybody from scoring, but they're going to score, and they're going to hang with you. And 6 points is a lot for a team that's scored 35 plus points in both their games.
Yeah, I'm really surprised with how explosive they are. I've always liked DJ Chark. Now, like, we'll see. Do you think that Minnesota performance against the Eagles?
What a disaster!
Do you think it's a sign to come, or do you think they're going to play better against the Lions? Like, I actually think Minnesota plays a little bit better.
I do too.
I think the Lions can. I think there's big holes on this Vikings defense. On the Lions, they're playing good ball. And is Dan Campbell calling plays? I don't know if anyone gave me that answer, but I'm looking forward to watching it.
I am too. Minnesota at home is almost like a completely different team. At home at 1:00, they're a completely different team. And I think they got embarrassed. They're just Jalen, but also credit to Philly. They're good. Philly is good. So, I mean, I'm not going to say they would have done that to anybody, but Minnesota's just like straight trash that game. They just like big, complete garbage.
Yeah, and about this question, that is the point, because I don't know if there's a worse secondary in this league than the Lions. And so that's
they're going to allow points to come up. I mean, what's the over under on that?
Let me go check it. Let me reload the page.
It's got to be like 50 something.
Yeah, I see Johnny Gonzalez. He was saying earlier he's on. He's definitely on the over for this. Let me see.
Oh, I agree.
I think I went with the surprise 52.5 under because I think the Lions run the ball, but I will not be betting this. 52.5 isn't it for a Lions game. I was surprised last week when they left at like 49.5 against the no names.
I agree. And they're going to put up probably, 27 points themselves. So, I mean, I think, but.
Yeah. So.
And no one's playing better than the St. Brown kid. Nobody. There's Jamar Chase isn't, Devontae Adams isn't. That St. Brown kid is definitely playing the best, I think, right now in the league.
Yeah, I'm staying with that under pick. That I'm staying with it because I think there's going to be more running the football this game. But
And there
Lions,
might be,
they
you
get
know,
crazy. They
there
get
might
crazy.
be, just because, again, two divisional, you're talking about divisional game. So they know each other well. And they play each other twice a year, every year. So, yes, it can be a little bit more defensive because those rivalry divisional games are just a lot, they're completely different than the regular game that you're going to see that the following week or the week before.
So changing the subject, Buffalo Bills -5.5 at the Miami Dolphins. Do you have an opinion on it?
I do.
Yeah, what's your opinion?
It's in Miami, right?
Yeah, it's in Miami.
I mean, I think the Bills are going to win, but I don't know about that spread. I wouldn't say they're going to blow them out like they did the last two opponents, the Rams and Tennessee. I think Miami could potentially keep it close, but I think the Bills will win.
So I guess you're agreeing with me that the Bills hype is getting a little bit too much. So what game?
It's just another divisional game. Again, like we talked about that. These two teams know each other. I think Josh Allen has beaten Miami every time he's played them. But Tua can show that he's a fourth quarter or second half, whatever you want to call it, quarterback, and he can come from behind. I mean, you can't do that every week. You can't get that far behind on Buffalo and expect to do that, though. They can't get 3 scores behind and against Buffalo. Their defense is too good.
I agree.
They're going to have to stay with them the whole way.
I know you have to get to poker. So what game is your favorite bet of the week?
I do like Cincinnati. I think that they can't go 0-3. Like, it's just, they can't. And I think the Jets beat them last year and knocked a lot of people out of their survivors. But they cannot go 0-3 in the AFC and even have a strong chance to making the playoffs. So they are good. This is a must win. This is almost like their season right now.
I think so. I don't think it's dramatic to say.
No, this is definitely their season. This Cincinnati, if they lose this game, they might as well kiss it goodbye. So they have to win. They're a must win. That's going to be my survivor pick. One of them. I like the Falcons. They are proven they're in every game. They're there right there to the end. Mariota's not afraid. He's not nervous. He doesn't seem scared. I think the Falcons actually win straight up.
Yeah. Yeah, man. That's where I'm at. So any last words?
I also, this whole freaking Green Bay Tampa game, just watch it.
Yeah, can people stay away with this
injury report?
Talked
last week about, the other close games that were just, there for, I guess, every person that has to play every game. Can we just enjoy it and watch Aaron Rodgers versus Tom Brady and everybody's injuries, like Bakhtiari? I don't even know what he's doing. And
he's never going to play, it feels like.
And Evans is out. Godwin has played for, a minute and a half all season so far, I think. Russell Gage is even questionable, but I'm sure he's probably playing. They signed Cole Beasley. I mean, if Cole Beasley starts, that's desperation mode because they just signed him this week. Yeah, so you're looking at Scotty Miller and Brashard Perryman. Now, of course, Brady can make a superstar out of anybody, but this is going to be the Green Bay defense who is good.
Yeah. And Scotty Miller's not getting those 80-20 balls Brady was throwing them last week against the Saints. And I'm not saying the Packers defense is equal to the Saints, but I'm really concerned about it. And why can't we lay off? Like, I know it's going to be on everyone.
To do with it.
I don't know why we can't lay off. It's the same thing with Thursday games.
I want nothing to do with it. I know I'm probably going to catch a lot of flack for this. I don't know if you've talked about this at all, but this is kind of ugly and you might have to, stomach this, but I think Indy might have a response this week with Jonathan Taylor.
Good, because we have that question on Patreon a lot. So go on.
Okay, so this is a pretty heavy point. This is a lot of points for a home dog for a team that is 0-2, and I wouldn't say their season's on the line because they're in such a trash division, but they're getting to be on the line. So you can't, again. I mean, well, no, they won. I think they won actually week 1, right? Didn't they win? Yeah, they beat the Jaguars. No, they didn't. They lost to the Jaguars. Week 1, they played. I forgot who they played week 1. Are they 0-2?
Yeah, Colts are 0-2.
Okay, they are 0-2. Right. Okay, I was right.
Yeah.
I was looking at my page. They cannot. They're another team. I'm not saying they're going to win, but let's remember last year they were like a 9-point underdog to Baltimore, and went into Baltimore, and they were leading, for a portion of that game, and that game came down to like a 3-pointer. So, let's just know that teams that are in desperation mode, they change things. And if they don't change things, they might as well, again, like I said, kiss it goodbye.
Thank you for the super chat, Mag. And like you are right, because this is backs up against the wall, and it does make a difference in the NFL. Lauren, I'll be honest with you. I've been shocked by their offensive line. On Patreon, we had the Jags +4 last week.
Yeah.
But I thought it was going to be a dogfight. I thought we were going to get the hook. Chiefs, I thought we were going to get the hook. Colts win probably by 3 or 2 points, something along those lines. I'm shocked by their offensive line. And when it's your strongest point, I'm left without ideas. But I get the fundamentals. The fundamentals are good.
Because their O-line's supposed to be as good as Cleveland's.
Yeah, but maybe even better. They got more money invested, right?
Right, and it's showing 0% of that. So, they have got to make a change. I know they changed the quarterback this year, but let's be honest. How many quarterbacks have they had in the last 10 years? 7. So, and I think if they don't make a change, they're going to be in bad shape. And the Chiefs sometimes might be not thinking taking the Colts so seriously. You know what I mean? You're like, okay, yeah, they're 0-2, they stink. But I'm not saying that that's going to happen, but I do think this game has potential upset. This game has potential to be closer than people think. I'd be scared to take the Chiefs as a survivor right now at this week because of that. Also, the Chargers, I think Justin Herbert is healthy, right? His rib issue. I'm pretty sure he's probably going to play, and they're playing.
And it lowered to -3. Then lowered to -3. That's a game I've been watching all week.
Me too.
Haven't been saying too much about it. And then that's why I said, just for Patreon users, the bets will be up later tonight than normal because there's 2 games I have to go full autism looking into, and that's one of them.
And do you think that Arizona? What about that Arizona comeback last week?
That right side of the Raiders offensive line is maybe one of the worst I've seen. And I grew up watching the worst Bills teams you can imagine. So
so did I. We're both from Western New York, upstate New York. So yeah, I mean, we know. I think that, do you think that, what is it, 4 for Arizona? Is that a little too much for a divisional game for a Rams team who's really not playing like they did last year? Let's call a spade, right? Atlanta came back in the 4th quarter and it was right there. And they were a 10-point underdog. And then they got smoked by the Bills the week before. So I know that Arizona looked bad week 1. They looked really, really, really bad week 1. But another divisional game, if you're getting more than a field goal, it's hard not to take that, in my opinion.
And I felt like this guy's comment from Amp Clark makes a lot of sense. Do you guys really think the Colts are better than the Chiefs, or are you betting the Colts because you think they're due for a win? I mean, that is a good comment to keep in mind. but we are talking point spread here. So, and if you block Chris Jones, you can run it against the Chiefs, but it makes sense.
And Jonathan Taylor, I mean, if you're going to have somebody to go up against the Chiefs run game, Jonathan Taylor's the one. So, but they're going to be behind. So Matt Ryan's going to have to throw. And I don't know about Michael Pittman, if he's coming back or not. He's desperately needed, but for obvious reasons, he's desperately needed. But, I think Jonathan Taylor can definitely catch some holes in there. And I think, is this a Philly-Washington game?
Yeah. Philly at Commanders. I'll start this off.
Please do, because I want you to tell me your thoughts.
I think Washington covers this. Now, when I did the Tuesday spreads, it was at -4, -4.5 on some books, but -4 on the most. So I picked Eagles to win in the cover. I'm even getting Eagles fans. Now, these are rational Eagles fans who are worried about this spread because they know Wentz, even though he churns it over a lot, there's 3 or 4 big plays a game. I think the Commanders cover. I think Eagles find a way to win late. I would not pick the Eagles with this like -6.5, -6 they're getting. Is
that how much it is?
Yeah, and I'm low on the Commanders. We hit them.
I thought it was 4.5. It's 6.5.
Yeah. In a matter of like 50 minutes, I do the video, I bring it to the editor, get it up on YouTube. It's up to 6.5 on.
That's too much. We've seen what Carson Wentz, in my opinion. Granted, their defense is allowing a lot of points, but he is scoring. He is throwing. He is scoring. That team is putting up, again, 30-plus points. So, in the Eagle, that some guy just wrote in the chat, is this Carson Wentz's revenge game? Maybe. I mean, but I think that, this could be closer than people think.
I agree. Yeah, so.
Are you staying away from the Saints game in Carolina?
I'm looking at the injury report avidly. It's one game I want to attack, but I have to just watch the injury report. And what did
you think about the Evans suspension? Warranted or no?
Not warranted, especially with what Bruce Arians did. I know he's like a quote unquote repeat offender. He didn't do that much.
I mean, he pushed Marshawn Lattimore on his, and he fell. But I feel like I've seen worse.
Marshawn Lattimore is a pretty nasty guy, even though he's a corner. So, and like, dude, they go at it. I love watching them go at it. That was the best thing of that whole game. Them going at it, 2 dogs going at it, and eventually someone's going to lose their head a little bit.
And that's exactly what happened. He appealed it, but I guess they turned him down. And somebody just put in the chat here, I'm just reading it right now, Pittman is going to play. Pittman is back. So
I agree with the guy who was saying Matt Ryan is dumb, though. And we've been saying even last year, I know we won a lot of money on the Colts. Let's be respectful to them. But they didn't do enough getting Matt Ryan weapons this year. Like, it seems like this thing is finally blowing up. But we'll see. I like your take on it. And that's a cautious game. And that's a game I'm staying away from.
Yeah, I wouldn't take KC. If you take KC as your survivor pick, you might get your heart broken just because of weird things that happen. Who would have thought half the stuff that happened last week, would have happened? So I think find somebody else. Somebody was asking about a survivor pick. I think Cincinnati's a good one. I definitely think that if you can get even the Raiders, and I would stay the hell away from the Packers and the Bucs game just because just enjoy it on a Sunday night as a football fan. If you don't have to touch it, enjoy your fantasy team with it, stay the hell away from it. Don't let it ruin your parlay or whatever else you're looking to do, in my opinion.
All right, Lauren. Hopefully you have a good night. Thank you for coming on.
Thank
We're
you.
getting it. We got the bet 365. So week 4, week 5, we're coming with the parlay show.
Oh, you mean the
coming this
player
time.
props? Player
Yeah.
props.
The player prop show. It's been taking a long time, like the studio, but it's coming. We're the player props. I'm excited about it, especially with how many people are talking about it now. I think
it's becoming more exciting than the regular handicapping. Like
I think it will.
It is. They're just getting, like you said last week, they're getting it out late. So hopefully, we can find something that's gonna make it entertaining and profitable early enough before Sunday, before things change, so
Bet 365 gets them out really, really early. So we're going to use that. All right, Lauren.
All right. Looking forward to it. Hey, good luck, everybody.
Thank you. Let's have a good Sunday.
Let's do it. Have a good one. I'll see y'all next week.
Sounds good.
Bye.
Hey, what's up, Don? Thank you for subscribing on Patreon.
Sweet.
Okay, good.
He sees you. You should be sitting there.
Hey, Don, I think you're having some internet issues.
I think
Maybe.
Got you. I'll just click the link again when what's up, ma'am?
Okay, I'm back. That was my grandson sitting there. He was helping me. I'm not too good at this stuff.
Yeah. So what's on your mind?
I want to get into John Lawson's Patreon site.
I believe you're in there, man. That's how you sent me a message.
You're in there.
If I'm in there, let's see.
There should be Wi-Fi down.
I don't quite know how to open it.
Yeah, man. Send me a message on Instagram. I'll help you guys out. My Instagram. Let me write my Instagram. My Instagram link will be in the description. Lawson Bets NFL. And I'll help you out on there. Just send me a message on Instagram. I'll help you guys out after the show. Sounds good?
It was Lawson
Bets NFL. It's up on the screen now.
It's up
on
the
Instagram.
Screen.
It's on the screen. All right. I don't see it.
I'll find it.
Hey, Don, you like to bet?
I'm getting help again from my grandson.
Oh, got you. Have you been betting?
I can't hear him. You don't even have a good enough.
Oh, I got you guys. All right. I'll send you a message on Patreon. I'll help you with. You'll see it in the post when it's posted, but I'll figure it out for you guys. Yo, have a great night.
Okay, thanks.
Sounds good. Yeah. Technical difficulties. We all know how the internet can get for us. Yeah, man. Okay. Yeah, I was trying to ask Don who he wanted to bet, and because sometimes the old guys are the best gamblers. Yeah, man. Let me get to the Patreon questions. Okay, here we go. Let's see. Someone's got weather. Okay. This is from, I'm going to write a timestamp. Okay, what time is it Eastern time? Okay, what's the timestamp in this video? And send your question. I'm going to get to all the YouTube ones. Yeah, I wanted to hear his thoughts too. I tried to get it out of him, man. I tried getting it out of him. Okay, we're at 140 mark. Sorry about this. Yeah, here we go. All right. So let me get to these last Patreon questions and leave your question in YouTube. I'm gonna get to them. Craig Story, any two-leg you feel strongly about? I won't be betting, but I don't bet parlays. But I would go. I would probably go Ravens, and let me go. Let me go Saints. Simon Avila Moreno, what's up, Simon? John, Chiefs -5.5 spread. Do you think the Chiefs cover easy? I don't think they cover easy, but I actually think they cover that game. I didn't want anyone to get confused because I was giving the Colts a little bit of respect and a fighter's chance, so to speak, but I don't think they'll cover that. Haven't changed my opinion since Tuesday. It's Ducky Racing. If we place 4 bets, do you recommend betting the same amount on each? That's what I do. And if you want to do this long term and you want to be serious about it, that's probably what you should do. Now, every once in a while, you will get a college fun game, but listen, in the NFL, those are going to come 3, 4, 5 times a year at most. So most of the time you bet equal, and you could be betting a lot. You could be betting small. If you're betting small, you have to build up the bankroll, and there's nothing wrong with doing that. Joe, what's your money line lock of the week? Well, you would think the Chiefs are conventional wisdom. I'll go something a little bit different. I'll go with a little bit of a risk here to pay out better. Give me the Falcons. Okay, here we go. Let's get. Yeah, dude, I'll get Don on again. I wanted to get him on, man. I wish he would have said something. Yeah, I wanted the Don pick. Dude, he probably watches a ton of football. And that's the shame, man. And I don't agree with them putting those games on Amazon. Because at a certain point, listen, we all understand technology because we grew up in it. But at a certain point, I would just prefer the games be on TV, especially since the NFL is kind of like a national treasure. You should be able to churn on basic cable and get it. And you should be able to flip between the games. At least on the primetime games, you should be able to watch it. That putting it on Amazon for me is lame, and it just creates issues. And then you remember when our generation was promised, we were promised, cutting the cord, it's going to save you money. It's going to save you so much money. Honestly, I bet people are paying more with all their subscription services than they were paying with their cable. Yeah, RJ, I get you, man. It's just dude, all of us have parents, and I know they don't make much money from people over 65, over 70, but they really are stealing the games. It should just be on regular TV. If Amazon wants to present the game with their cameras and all that stuff, that's fine. But you got to throw that stuff on basic cable. And plus, we have a lot of people who can't afford cable in this country. And secondly, we got people who are rural in cities. They use antennas, should be able to get from the antennas. NFL is important. It's the biggest sport by far. It's people. Okay. Paco Mano, 808. Bills alternate spread -20.5. Are you trying to troll me, my man? You have more balls than most of the Bills backers this week. They're saying Bills by 30, I don't think the Bills win by 30. I don't think the Bills win this game in blowout form, but at least you have the intelligence to put this down, and you would get fully paid out if they blow the Dolphins out. I think that heat's going to be a factor. I think it's going to be a factor that game. And we'll see how the Bills withstand. And I don't think the Dolphins are going to lay down. I just don't see them laying down. Okay, here we go. All right, make sure you hit the like button. Make sure you share the videos. I'm going to answer some more questions on YouTube that I'm getting off. Yeah, man. I don't like Amazon, and I don't like the way they treat workers and all that stuff. Not trying to get political, but I don't like it. I don't like the way it's going with all that. Kenny Dorsey, 27. Do you like Tampa Bay and Green Bay game under 42? I'm going over just because the quarterbacks, but that under's looking good. Don't bet that one. I don't have a lean on that game. You guys always know I have some sort of lean on a game. There'll be 2 a week. I don't. I don't have anything on that game. You guys might have a better read than me. The Blast. You don't think the Colts will cover the plus 5.5? I don't, my man. I don't. I understand the fundamentals are good for the Colts here. And we do try to bet with fundamentals, and it makes a lot of sense. But they got to wake up. And I don't know if you're a Patreon user or not, but we just completely ransacked the Colts with +4 in the Jags. Who would have thought that would have been a sweat-free bet? Colts aren't even showing up. Now, I know they're going to be on their home turf, so it could improve. This is from RJ. What's up, RJ88? Lawson, do you think the Bills-Dolphins game is more a defensive game or an offensive game? I keep flipping back and forth. I actually have been flipping back and forth. I think it's going to be more defensive. I don't think both teams are getting into the 30s, firstly. I also think the Miami defense will play much better than they did last week against the Ravens. I am worried about Teron Armstead playing for the Dolphins, but it looks like he'll play. He's always banged up. I think this is going to be a defensive game. I think the Dolphins are going to run the ball a lot. Now, we know the Bills have been stuffing that run. But Miami has been creating some pretty decent running lanes, nothing impressive. I think we see Miami running the ball, and we see some long Miami possessions. And Miami, they're going to play the 2 deep shell. That's how you got to play the Bills. Don't give up the plays over the top. Yeah, no, it's good, man. The Prime version is really cool. I did check it out. I am in international seas, so I don't get the same things you guys get, but it's been pretty cool. Al Michaels, Herb Street. It's just, man, like, yeah, it's like I feel like they're trying to nickel and dime everyone. And, the NFL generates enough money as it is. Okay. Burlington Coat Factory Warehouse sucks like Amazon too. Yeah. I remember one of my subscribers, he's like, they cut his hours at like just a Walmart distribution. Like 2 weeks later, the guy from Walmart buys the Broncos for damn near $4 billion, and I know no one really cares about stuff like that, but that stuff actually bothers me. And if you say anything about it, like they act like you're a hippie or something. I think I like that Jamar Chase touchdown. And I like Dalvin Cook over the rushing yards. I like Swift over the rushing yards. I haven't seen them, but I think Swift gets over 100 yards. And I think the Vikings keep Dalvin Cook more involved. And I think that Lions-Vikings game should be a good game for player props, especially after the Vikings laid a complete egg. But yeah, I got you guys. Jared Hart, what's up, Jared? I hope you're doing good, my man. All I hear is Saints defense, Saints defense, Saints defense. Tampa has the best defense in the league. It's either them or the Saints. Like I said, this is the best version of Todd Bowles, Brady era Tampa Bay defense. Am I wrong? Like, this is the best I've seen. And everyone keeps saying the Bucs have a weak secondary. I don't know. Like, these young Bucs, they're actually finally starting to ball. And no one's got better run fits if we're talking front seven than the Bucs. And I think the secondary is slowly getting better. I really like the Bucs defense. People are saying the Broncos have a top 5 defense because they played the Seahawks and the Texans, because I think the way to beat teams like the Bills, the Bengals, let's see, Bills, Bengals, Chiefs. This is what happened to the Chiefs last year. Teams would play man, but they would go too deep. And the Dolphins aren't a team that spends 90% of the game in man. They did it against the Ravens because they were getting fooled by jumbo packages. And that's what they did. And they wanted a good player on Mark Andrews. I don't think you're going to see full on man to man. You're going to see a lot of shell cover 4, 2 deep man to man, but you're not going to see them getting real aggressive and press. And Xavier Howard, he was playing off coverage a lot last game. But it makes more sense to play man against the Ravens than the Bills. But like I said, I think they're going to change it up, and the Dolphins will send zone blitzes. And of course, you're not going to be on man-to-man when you send a zone blitz. So I'm curious how it goes, my man. But they do play man because they got 2 really good corners. Yeah, man. Like I said, I watched the coaches film in Miami last week. They were in man a lot. But they also played the Patriots week 1. They will play zone. And it's the same defensive coordinator from when Flores was there. Dude, they sent a ton of zone blitzes. And of course you're going to play man-to-man against the Patriots. I think they change up the coverage. They're not going straight man-to-man against the Bills, bro. J Loyalty. Lawson, what do you think about the Bills, the Ravens, the Bengals, Raiders, Chiefs, Rams? I think the Rams win it. I think the Chiefs win it. Raiders is too risky. Throw that one out of there. Bengals win it. Ravens win it. Bills will win it, but not by as much as everyone is saying. Yeah, man, you could say the Bills smoked Miami. I don't think they're winning by double digits. We can make that bet. If you give me Miami plus 11, give me Miami. Why bet on the Bengals though? Yeah, good question. But they are playing the Jets. And, last week was magical for the Jets, but they still are the Jets. And if we're talking bad defenses in this league, they're on my top 5 of just really poor defenses. All right. I'm going to go. I have to do a lot of work with the injury reports. Hit the like button, share the videos, the best gambling show on the internet. Thank you for your support. No. Okay. Yeah. Let me get it. Send your questions again. I like in Dallas versus the Giants. Let me think. Because I had the Giants earlier in the week, not because of any science, but because they're at home. And I'm betting on if Cooper Rush can have 2 good games, but have the Cowboys on the teaser. Yeah, dude, that game I don't have a big read on. It's like betting 2 subpar quarterbacks versus subpar quarterbacks. It's not a good strategy. And then plus, I like the over in that game for it to be a surprise over, even though, like I said, 2 subpar quarterbacks. And I think the Cowboys have a lot better defense than the Giants. That's where I'm at, man. Yeah, I would suggest teasing the Cowboys. I think that's going to be a 1-score game. The more the week goes on, the more I like the Cowboys' chances. Tim says, how come I can't log on into Patreon? Tim, I'm not sure. I like I said, I don't work for Patreon. It's just a payment service center. So you have to, I don't know, and sometimes it will ban your account if someone doesn't pay. And a lot of people come in and they'll give me $1 Canadian when it's a very low price of $5 American. So sometimes I have to boot people for that. Because it's only $5, man. It's only $5. But Tim, if you're still having problems, send me a message or send me an email. Send me a message on Instagram. My Instagram is Lawson Bets NFL, and then I'll help you out if possible. Because then I can look up your account and see what's going on. I appreciate you too, Simon. Hope you have a great day, man. Hope you guys have a great night. Bets will be up on Patreon later, and we will get Don back on next week. I want to see what he does, man.